What's up YouTube? It's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. Now before we get started with this week's episode of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue, the road to 200 subs has now come to a close and we are now 210 subs away from hitting 500 subs. And if you guys are new to the channel, and I know that a lot of you guys are, because practically 100% of you guys are watching the content, but you guys are not even subscribed. And to top it all off, we got to get more women to watch the content as well. So if you guys are watching the content, you like the content, and you want more of the content, but you guys have not subscribed as of yet, then make sure you guys do indeed subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, smash that thumbs up button on this video, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And I want you guys to post in the comments below answering the question of the day, which is this: what would you consider to have been the biggest shock of YCS Birmingham from last week? Let me know down in the comments below. And speaking of shocking moments, I never in my wildest dreams would have ever imagined what we witnessed at YCS Birmingham. What was it, last week? It was something. It was something to say the very least. I mean, YCS Birmingham had literally some of the craziest decks you ever would have imagined. The Malice, Riziel, Mermail, White Forest, Memento, Despia, Mitsurugi, Tenpai Dragon. Literally, that's all. It was, and even also a weird one, Crystalron, which made no sense whatsoever. But here's the crazy thing: out of all the players that competed at the YCS in Birmingham, most, I would say about at least 40%. I would say roughly about at least 40% of the field, if you will, was all Riziel. But there was one person that made history. And that person is none other than Ding Kabui. And I apologize if I butchered the name, but this man played Fire King. Yes, you heard me right. You heard me right. You heard that right. Fire King. This is probably by far one of, if not the craziest thing I've ever seen. And I'm gonna show you guys all the cards that he was playing in his deck. So his deck consisted of excuse me. Consisted of 3 Sacred Fire King Garunix, 1 Fire King High Avatar Garunix, 3 Fire King Courtier Volcanix. I'm like butchering these names. Legendary Fire King Ponix, 3 of them, 3 Fire King High Avatar Kirin, 1 Fire King Avatar Arvada, 1 Bestial Magnum Hut, 2 Druis Worm, 3 Molcharming Fuwalos, which is a very crazy ass card, 3 Ash, 3 Valor, 2 Nibiru, 2 Fire King Sanctuary, a Fire King Island, 2 Fire King Skybird, 3 Pot of Extravagance, a Pot of Prosperity, 3 Imperms, a Relinquished Anima, a Salamangreat All Mirage, Excuse me. 3 Promethean Princess, 2 Heat of the Fire Charmer Ablaze, Alina the Light Charmer Lustrous, a Dark the Dark Charmer Gloomy, excuse me, and SP Little Knight, 2 Super Star Slayer Typhoon Sky Crisis, 3 Garunix Eternity Hyang of the Fire Kings for his extra deck, and then his side deck, he had 3 Lancia, 3 Chaos Hunter, a 3 Molcharmy Perulia, a Call by, 3 Dominus Impulse, and 2 Solemn Judgment. Think about that. Right? Like, what? So with a deck like this, what could have been the end board turn 1? What could have been the end board? Well, for Sacred Fire King Garunix, this basically acts as a Monster Reborn on a 2700 body, and it also if it gets special summon, you can pop 1 Fire Beast Warrior, or Wind Beast from in your hand, deck, or face up field, except this card, and this card gains attack equal to half the destroyed monster's attack if it had there until the end of the turn. So ideally, that's one card. That's just one card alone. I feel like in my opinion, I feel like with this deck, the end board would have been in my opinion, I feel like it would have been Garunix plus Promethean Princess, Anima, SP, and 2 Garunix Eternity turn 1. I feel like that right there would have been the perfect end board, plus a 2 set of Imperm plus Skyburn and Pass. I feel like that right there would have been the end board turn 1, but at the same time, if you go into a game 2, ideally you would want to side out the Bestial package and throw in potentially the Lancias, maybe a couple of more, maybe it could be a Lancia plus two Polaria. Maybe it could be a Call by plus two Judgments, or if it were to be the case, I feel like you could also, hypothetically speaking, side out the Bestials and the Molcharmy Fuwalos for potentially 3 Polaria, a Call by, and 3 Judgment, or it could be the 3 Polaria plus 3 Impulse, or something like that. I feel like that could be the case. Maybe also side out the Nibiru's, the Nibiru's, especially if you're going up against a deck that doesn't rely a lot on special summoning. Then essentially Nibiru is essentially would essentially be a dead card, if you will. So I'm like looking at the deck on the YGO Pro Deck website, and honestly, the deck is absolutely kind of crazy. I never would have imagined in my wildest dreams where we would ever see this deck, this archetype, become a viable meta strategy, because I know that we did get the structure like a couple of years ago, and that was where the Sacred Fire King and the Fire King High Avatar Kirin were first introduced, if my memory serves correct. So so now now that we've seen the deck and what it's capable of, because it recently actually its opponent from the event was from a person named Shan Xiao Wang. I'm like butchering the name, so I do apologize. But apparently, the person was playing Malice. Was playing Malice with a bit of a bestial package, I guess, if you will. And unfortunately, I am unable to show off what the deck looks like, but that is perfectly okay. So now that we've seen the deck, right now that we know how good this deck is, what does it mean for the next ban list? Well, obviously we won't be expecting a new ban list to come in until potentially next month, sometime in March, maybe even sometime in April, possibly before WrestleMania, maybe even after WrestleMania as well. So what cards do I believe could get hit on the ban list? For one is obviously the Promethean Princess. Reason being is because it's a good way. It's like one of the best ways to bring itself back from the graveyard and to literally just pop cards on your opponent's side of the field. I'll read off Promethean's effects. So it says here you cannot special summon monsters except for fire. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. During your main phase, you can special summon a fire monster from your grave. If a monster is special summoned to your opponent's field while this card is in your grave, except during the damage step, you can target a fire monster you control and a monster your opponent controls, destroy them, and if you do, special summon this card. So it basically acts as a monster reborn for itself, but it also gives you an extra summon on board. So obviously, yes. So yes, obviously it does tempt Nibiru, but when you really look at it, the card is just so broken. It is so fucking broken. I'm kind of surprised Konami hasn't banned this card as of yet. I could also potentially see the Mole Charmies get banned as well. Like honestly, I mean the Mole Charmies is just they are almost as worse as Max C in terms of how good the cards are. They are as bad as Max C. And I'm not saying that in the sense that the cards are bad to play. I'm just mostly saying that they're 10 times better, if you will, than Max C. That's why it's so bad to see the Mole Charmies actually see competitive play. So Fuwalo's effects read as follows. If you control no cards as a quick effect, you can discard this card, apply these effects this turn. Each time your opponent special summons a monster from the deck and or extra deck, draw one card. Once during the end phase, if the number of cards in your hand is more than the number of cards your opponent controls plus 6, you must randomly shuffle cards from your hand into the deck so the number in your hand equals the number your opponent controls plus 6. You can only activate one other Mole Charming monster effect a turn. You activate this effect. So if you end up playing Fuwalos and you play Perulia, I mean, it literally. I mean, both those cards together make up Max C. They literally make up Max C, which is insane. So I could potentially see the Moltramis get banned. I could see Promethean Princess get banned. Xtrav, I don't really think Xtrav deserves to get banned. Like I could potentially see it getting getting limited to one at some point. But for the most part, I think it's an okay card, just because of the fact that you really don't see it get played all that much anymore, unless if you were playing it in like a Monarch deck or something like or or in some form of like some sort of like an anti-meta strategy, you know, like maybe counter fairies or something like that. Other than that, you really, I mean, the card is okay. The card is like fine. Bestial, Magnum Hut, and Druid's Worm. The Bestial package, 100%. I could totally see those cards getting banned, just because of the fact that you can literally summon them during your opponent's turn, which helps you combo into getting out Bestial Lubellion, which is a nasty card to see get played, especially on Master Duel. That card is a menace on Master Duel, and you end up having no choice but to scoop, which is insane. What else could we see get banned? I really don't think anything else could get banned. Like I could potentially see Imperm getting semi limited to two, just because of the fact that it's such a powerful negate. It is such a powerful negate. Being able to negate up to what, 2-3 cards at once is, you know, just in one card alone is absolutely insane. Call by, I could totally see Call by coming back up to 2. Just because it's a good way to stop hand traps dead in their tracks, and Konami putting this to 1 made no sense whatsoever, because Call by is hand trap negation. So I don't know why you would want to I don't know why you would want to put it to one or ban it, if you will. Other than that, I really don't see anything else getting banned. But as far as like what could be next for the Fire King deck, 100% at some point down the road, maybe within the next year or so, 100% we could expect to see Fire King get new support at some point. Maybe potentially in a future core set. Like I know that we're getting Duelist Advance coming up, which I believe is supposed to be released sometime this year. Which we actually have some new cards revealed, but I won't be talking about those until later on. But I think honestly, I think we're gonna be in for for a very interesting time, because right now, again, as I said, when you look at YCS Birmingham, almost every single player that was playing that competed at the YCS in Birmingham, England, it was mostly all Malice and Riziel. Everyone else was either Mitsurugi, Memento, Despia, and Tenpai Dragon. In fact, that guy especially from the top 32 list, he was the only person that played Fire King and won the whole thing. So congrats to him. And again, 100% we could potentially see new support to make the deck even stronger. But even with that, I think the deck wouldn't really function that well if it wasn't for the Promethean Princess. So I think if that card got banned, or at least like limited to one, then I could totally see Fire King still becoming a meta of a viable meta strategy, but it won't be as consistent as it is now with Princess at 3. At 1, it can still play, you can still combo, but it won't be as consistent and as fast paced, I guess, if you will, as it is now with Princess at 3. But who knows? Who knows? I think the next ban list should be coming up within the next month or two, I guess. I'm assuming, so we still have some time. In fact, I think the next YCS, I think should be, let me see if that's, here we are. The next YCS should be the team YCS next month, which is in El Salvador. So we still have that. We still have the team YCS in Vegas. We also have as well the YCS in Buenos Aires in Argentina. We've got the YCS in Houston and the YCS in Mexico City. So sometime between the YCS in El Salvador and the one in Mexico City, we can 100% expect something to come up, but only time will tell. It's kind of hard to say, but I believe I think for nationals, as far as nationals go, we are expecting nationals. I think sometime this year. I think sometime in May. So it'll be interesting. So we still have a few YCS events to come around before Konami makes their decision on what cards to ban. But with that being said, that will do it for this week's episode of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue in the future, then make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.